Hare Krishna, Chapter 17, Extinguishing the Forest Fire. King Parikshit, after hearing of the chastisement of Kalia, inquired from Sukadev Goswami as to why Kalia left his beautiful land and why Garud was so antagonistic to him. Sukadev Goswami informed the king that the island known as Nagalaya was inhabited by serpents and that Kalia was one of the chief serpents there. Being accustomed to eating snakes, Garud used to come to this island and kill many serpents at will. Some of them he actually ate, but some were unnecessarily killed. The reptile society became so disturbed that their leader, Vasuki, appealed to Lord Brahma for protection. Lord Brahma made an arrangement by which Garud would not create a disturbance. On each full moon, the reptile community would offer a serpent to Garud. The serpent was to kept underneath a tree as a sacrificial offering to Garud. Garud was satisfied with this offering and therefore he did not disturb any other serpents. But gradually, Kalia took advantage of the situation. He was unnecessarily puffed up by the volume of his accumulated poison, as well as by his material power. And he thought, why should Garud be offered this sacrifice? He then ceased offering any sacrifice. Instead, he himself ate the offering intended for Garud. When Garud, the great devotee of Kariya of Vishnu, understood that Kalia was eating the offered sacrifices, he became very angry and rushed to the island to kill the offensive serpent. Kalia tried to fight Garud and faced him with his many hoods and poisonous sharp teeth. Kalia attempted to bite him, and Garud, the son of Tarksha, in great anger and with the great force befitting the Kariya of Lord Vishnu, struck the body of Kalia with his effulgent golden wings. Kalia, who is known as Kadru Suta or son of Kadru, immediately fled to the lake known as Kalia Radha, which lay within the Yamuna river and which Garud could not approach. Kalia took shelter within the water of the Yamuna for the following reason. Just as Garud went to the island of the Kalia snake, he used to go to the Yamuna to catch fish to eat. There was, however, a great yogi known as Sobhari Muni who used to meditate within the water there and who was sympathetic with the fish. He asked Garud not to come there and disturb the fish. Although Garud was not under anyone's order, being the Kariya of Lord Vishnu, he did not disobey the order of the great yogi. Instead of staying and eating many fish, he carried off one big fish who was their leader. Sobhari Muni was sorry that one of the leaders of the fish was taken away by Garud, and thinking of their protection, he cursed Garud with the following words: Henceforth, from this day, if Garud comes here to catch fish, then I say this with all my strength, he will be immediately killed. This curse was known only to Kalia. Kalia was therefore confident that Garud would not be able to come there, and so he thought it would be wise to take shelter of the lake within the Yamuna. But Kalia's taking shelter of Sobhari Muni was not successful. He was driven away by the Yamuna by Krishna, the master of Garud. It may be noted that Garud is directly related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is so powerful that he is never subject to anyone's order or curse. Actually, the cursing of Garud, who is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam to be of the stature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Bhagavan, was an offense on the part of Sobhari Muni. Although Garud did not try to retaliate, the Muni was not saved from his offensive act against a great Vaishnav personality. Due to this offense, Sobhari fell down from his yogic position and afterwards became a householder, a sense enjoyer in the material world. The fall down of Sobhari Muni, who was supposed to be absorbed in spiritual bliss by meditation, is an instruction to the offender of Vaishnavas. When Krishna finally came out of Kalia's lake, he was seen by all his friends and relatives on the bank of the Yamuna. He appeared before them nicely decorated, smeared all over with chandan pulp, bedecked with valuable jewels and stones, and almost completely covered with gold. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, including the cowherd boys and men, the gopis, Mother Yashoda, Maharaja Nand, and all other cows and calves, saw Krishna coming from the Yamuna, and it was as though they recovered their very life. When a person regains his life, naturally he becomes absorbed in pleasure and joyfulness. They each in turn pressed Krishna to their chest, and thus they felt a great relief. Mother Yashoda, Rohini, Maharaja Nanda, and the cowherd men became so happy that as they embraced Krishna, they thought they had achieved their ultimate goal of life. Balram also embraced Krishna, but he was laughing because when everyone else had been so overwhelmed with anxiety, he had known that what would happen to Krishna. All the trees on the bank of the Yamuna, along with all the cows, bulls, calves, were full of pleasure because of Krishna's appearance there. The Brahman inhabitants of Vrindavan immediately came with their wives to congratulate Krishna and his family members. And because Brahmanas are considered to be the spiritual masters of society, they offered their blessings to Krishna and his family on account of Krishna's release. They also asked Maharaja Nanda to give them some charity on that occasion. Being so pleased by Krishna's return, Maharaja Nanda gave many cows and much gold in charity to the Brahmanas. While Nanda Maharaj was thus engaged, Mother Yashoda simply embraced Krishna and made him sit on her lap while she shed tears continuously. Since it was almost night and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, including the cows and calves, were very tired, they decided to take rest on the riverbank. In the middle of the night, while they were taking rest, there was suddenly a great forest fire, and it quickly appeared that the fire would soon devour all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. As soon as they felt the warmth of the fire, they immediately took shelter of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he was just playing like their child. They began to say, "Our dear Krishna, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, our dear Balram, the reservoir of all strength, please try to save us from this all-devouring and devastating fire. We have no shelter other than you. This devastating fire will swallow us all." Thus they prayed to Krishna, saying that they could not take any shelter other than his lotus feet. Lord Krishna, being compassionate upon his own townspeople, immediately swallowed up the whole forest fire and saved them. This was not impossible for Krishna because he is unlimited. He has unlimited power to do anything he desires. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 17th chapter of Krishna, Extinguishing the Forest Fire. Hare Krishna.